Hi everybody, my name is Kidia, and this is a Temple 19 that I did a couple days ago. We are with Ario, Elias, Pure Pearlescence, and their friend Croutons. First three I mentioned are currently in my guild Behind the Curve Airy Peak US. We are 10 of 12 Mythic, and hopefully should be out of 12 sometime early next week. Got, I think, 15% on Carapace last night. Should die soon. On this 19, we're going to start by making the big pull here. Sorry, normal size pull. The affixes are going to be Grievous, so it'll have a stacking debuff, and whenever you take damage, goes away if you healed above 90%. And Sanguine drops Sanguine Petals on the ground. Kill the first pass, we're going to jump to the obelisk, and we're going to murder these eyes here. They do a lot of damage. Once we get that going, gotta get the Dispel on here, heal him up. We'll move on down to the next boss room. Okay. We'll drag this blob down here. It's continuously dropping puddles of stuff on the ground that you don't want to step in. You can see just running through it did a pretty good chunk of damage to me right there. And we're going to use this obelisk to skip the 2 packs on the stairs there. We'll drag him just around the corner here so that we can kind of safely get out of the portal, and we'll pull this pack here before we pull the boss. The temple, based off the obelisk positions, is a pretty easy key to time this season. It's one of the easier ones, which is nice. And this is a fortified that we're doing here, so it's not particularly difficult boss-wise, because the last 2 bosses can be quite rough on Tyrannical. Go through here, use my DPS trinket, get a little damage. Okay, and we'll move into the boss here. Now, these bosses put a lightning shield on them, one at a time, increasing the damage they take. So, Aspects gets it on first, which means dealing damage to Aspects will deal damage massively to the group. And so we're going to have Adderus. Adderus does a Cyclone Blast like that, sends 3, actually that was more than that, it's like 5 Cyclones out. Didn't know the number apparently. The 5 Cyclones will pretty much one-shot if you get hit, so you have to run to the other side. He also does Static Shock. Which is massive AoE. And now we're going to switch to Aspects here. While this is going on, he does large AoE, will put a gust on people, pushing people away. And then Adderix will do different mechanics, like a big dash you'll see here in a second. That right there. So you see where he's going to go, so you move out of the way. He's not going to hit anyone as a result. And I got the gust on me, which sucks. But lightning seal switch back, so back down on Adderus. I almost got hit by one there. I could not see which way it was going. Does a sizable amount of damage, so you gotta make sure that you avoid that. Darkness drop down, reduce some damage, switch back to Aspects. And I'm gonna use my trinket here to try and get some damage going. Got this really fortunate procs off of Twilight Devastation. And I threw my thing at him, forgetting he had the lightning shield. So that was unfortunate. Almost killed myself there. And then Croutons also did it. Thankfully, it is Crouton's key. And he's gonna release, so my res is null and void. And so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna jump in the portal, and so is everybody but the tank. The tank's a demon hunter, so he can just glide down this path here, not getting hit by anything. And he's gonna shadow meld off this guy so we don't aggro it. And there's an obelisk down here at the bottom, and so once he pulls that in, we'll instantly be popped into the boss, and we'll take this over to the next boss room, skipping all the trash on the way. And I got fucking flesh beast to death there. I should have popped cooldowns and just gotten a holy shock off on myself, but I didn't. Thankfully, which I'll figure out here in a minute, I don't know how long I go before I realize it, I have a Lightfoot potion in my bank from doing Carapace Progress. So, there we go, Lightfoot. Fast as fuck for a minute. So I'll almost make it there in time. Okay, and then we get the friendly wings. We're gonna kill the boss here. And we're gonna do big pulls inside here. Use trinket, pull these guys a little bit one at a time. Well, I'm thinking I should hopefully, based off of my Mythic Plus and rating, I'm not going to get Alpha. Because I would have already gotten that by now. And I was not lucky enough. Haven't been a WoW player for long enough, apparently. It was friends, family, notable streamers, which I am not, and a select few longtime WoW players, which I've been playing since vanilla, but so is a lot of people. So I just didn't win the lottery, which is no biggie. But I imagine, I have no proof or inside information, that just based off Mythic Plus and Raid stuff, once they start testing that, I'll probably get an invite to beta. So I'm hoping to be able to do new stuff with that, and we'll do some beta gameplay footage here in a few months, hopefully. Okay, so avoiding Sanguine, didn't stand in fire puddles, all is good. And we're gonna start using wings, spamming guys, gotta get that fat damage. Pulled this guy. This is normally a big problem that you don't want to pull with everything else, but we do have purges with Demon Hunters, so it's not a terrible if just Demon Hunter and Shadow Priest. So it's not terrible if we miss the NRF, although it's still not ideal. And we'll just work our way through these guys. Yeah. yeah, one more pack to clear. And boss will spawn. But yeah, have you guys been looking at Shadowlands class changes? Seen anything you guys are excited about? Any of your classes interest you? Did you see Holy Pally stuff and like that? I'm kind of a basic bitch. I'm a little bit worried about having to add keybinds to everything because these fat fingers don't do well with a bunch of extra buttons. I blame my school. They never gave me typing classes in school, and everybody else in my age group did. I'm a horrible typer. What are you gonna do? I use like the little asterisk to the left of the 1, then 1 through 5 relatively comfortably. Q, E, R, Shift E, and then mouse button everything with Control Alt modifiers. So having to add more stuff to that, like you pretty much everything already bound. It's rough. I already, wow, I didn't even remember that happened. We are good players. Okay, so dispel poison on this guy. Boss during intermission will do run around in circles. He'll occasionally charge. Hitting people does a massive amount of damage. First phase, he spits a cone in front, so you want to stack in front of the boss and then kind of sidestep to the left or the right, depending on where you want to go. Control the poison. Was not handled appropriately here at all, but what are you going to do? Second phase, he does a blind, so you got to look away from him or you'll get disoriented. Throughout, he'll put people in a knot of snakes, stunning them. You don't want to be on the poison if that lands on you, because you'll take a ton of damage. But there's 3 phases. Phase 1, Phase 2, 2 intermissions. Intermissions are the same, ads come out. And then Phase 3 will combine Phase 1 and 2, and then occasionally spawn more ads too. This is a very easy boss though. So he's gonna stop halfway, but I get a little bit scared there. I'm also thinking that during these like narration commentary videos, there's kind of a lot of dead time. I'll probably end up editing the run down a little bit, kind of showing highlights and then doing narration over that for the important parts so we don't have as much filler time. Let's see how I feel going forward. I got a 20 Waycrest I have recorded to do next, so I might edit that down later tonight, make a highlights version, kind of show the important stuff, and then go off that. I think that's probably the way to do it. These do massive AoE, this next group, and the boss does a massive amount of AoE too. Then we're going to have to make it through the gauntlet. I got sleepy all of a sudden. Running fucking teas till 3 in the morning will apparently do that to you. I got my quarantine sleep schedule, and then once I went back to work, getting readjusted sucks. What are you gonna do? Especially when I want to run like 20s and shit. So a ton of damage goes out here. These guys are fortified. Standing in that lightning would absolutely kill you. And you have to be careful not to pull the next guys. The next group of guys, those static charged, I don't know what they're called, little elementals you see left there, Dervish. For some reason they are bugged and they drop 5 sanguine petals each when they die, so they have to be killed around the same time, or they will basically heal full almost immediately, and standing in them when they die is really bad. like really, really bad, especially if you kill them all at the same time, because then you get like 15 sanguine puddles. And they do a massive amount of healing damage, massive healing requirement. Just use my trinket there. Really didn't think I was in that, but I must have clipped it. I'm just gonna release and go back here. I was really hoping the DK would res me, but I realized we didn't have a res. Jeez, I'm tired all of a sudden. Sitting in front of a screen trying to do commentary is probably not the best. Stay out, don't die. Okay. So, basically out of cooldowns, which makes this next pack really exciting. Let's do 3 of them again. Had to use my lay on hands there. Croutons died again. That's not that unusual. I had to bubble, which I love saving for this boss, but just had to do it. So I'm gonna get some mana here. And trying to get food buff too. Not gonna get the food buff though. Actually, maybe I do. Nope. Pulled out of combat. So, massive AoE healing going out. This was a really hard boss pre-Glimmer, but post-Glimmer, I don't find this boss nearly as difficult as some of the other ones. I was checking out Ellesmere's wingsandstuff.com, great resource if you're trying to do stuff as a Holy Pally. Just trying to see what they say, because he has boss specific advice. He still lists this as a massive HPS requirement, which, I mean, I guess it is. Like, I'm going to do a massive amount, but it's not the hard kind of healing. People don't get, like, super low for huge periods of time. Like, when I think of hard healing, I think of a couple buffs on Waycrest, like the witches. People will randomly get spiked real low. Stuff that has serious tank healing. When it's consistent spreading, like this, it's not terrible. I would say that I get real low there. Grievous definitely makes it worse, however. This is also not a tyrannical. Alright, so we're going to go into obelisk number 3. Obelisk number 3 is the Tank Buster. We're gonna prevent people from dying. We gotta make our way through here. We used Freedom the first part. This one's a little rough with them all over the place. We don't have to worry about the maze, which I guess I don't quite realize here as I make sure I dodge them. We don't have to worry about the maze. We just run right through these, kill this obelisk. We're gonna skip this mini boss guy here for a second. We're gonna pull him. So I'll kill this guy here, then we'll do the maze. So once we do this, we gotta take the orbs over to the skeleton eye. Take 2 orbs, put them in the eye of the snake skull. It opens up, and we can move on down to the last boss. And then we'll take an obelisk there, so we don't have to pull anything on the way. And then we're gonna have our demon hunter do the orbs because he can just do it real quick. Our havoc demon hunter, more specifically. So you see him not get involved. We're gonna pull this guy right here to get him away from the orb temporarily. And then all of this happens off camera. I don't even understand how that happened, his death. And we're just gonna pull it in here. And then my Twilight Devastation, of course, just like whiffs massively. That was unfortunate. And then I get Twilight Devastation when they're all dead, not when it's actually batshit insane. There's another one there though, so terrible. And so that orb was already run when it was off camera. Like, it's pretty crazy how fast you can do this. So you'll see he picks it up, throws it himself, goes and gets it, picks it up, throws it himself, goes and gets it. And so now, because these guys don't do much damage, we're gonna pull a mini boss here. Do them all at the same time. Now all you gotta really do is interrupt them and avoid the stuff on the ground. So we're going to take the obelisk, and we're going to use Lightfoot, and we're just going to book it. And so he snapped the boss already. The little spiders should blow themselves up while running. I'll just kill this guy here. we just gotta kill the 4 things around here, and then we'll do the boss. We're gonna use wings here, that way we have it during the intermission. This fight kind of sucks for Holy Pally, and you'll see why here in a minute. And you get chunked by these trash too. Which is the same one as on the bus. It does do a lot of damage, something to keep in mind. So I'm gonna get mana because I absolutely need to be able to have full mana for this boss, or the intermissions will suck. So boss starts, there's 4 hexers. Once the hexers die, it goes into intermission. You do that, you have to heal the boss up, you do that twice. But these ads do a lot of damage. And so when the Heart Guardian, this guy right here, dies, he drops an orb. So I'm gonna try and kill him first, because he puts a nasty dot on the tank and it hurts pretty bad. And of course he died again. That's kind of a theme in this run, if you haven't noticed. So now that this comes out, so we're gonna use and we're gonna have to spam on here. Now typically Holy Palace use Crusader Strike to reset Holy Shocks, which is where a good chunk of our healing comes, especially in Glimmer. But with no ads up, you can't do a lot. I have absolutely no idea how a Disc Priest is supposed to do this, by the way. I was thinking about that at this point, because I went almost completely I almost went just in the first phase. It gets gross once you think about Disc Priests, they had to do damage to heal, and there's nothing up. You'd have to CC something, and then keep it up during the phase or something. There's 2 Plague Doctors that spawn. You can probably CC a Plague Doctor and do it that way. But it seems miserable. So we tried to do the CC on it right now for that same thing. Just try and get it up, and then I am So we get to kind of sit and wait a little bit while I get mana. I admittedly kind of let him die there because I needed to get this guy up. Okay. So now we got it up. We're in the final phase. You get a damage reduction buff. So we're gonna pull here, get everybody pulled down. So we're gonna pull everything. I missed a guy up there. We're gonna throw a judgment at him. And then we're gonna run this stuff down here because during this we take 99% less damage. So we can just pull it on here, DPS everything down. As long as one of these hoodoo hextures stays up, then we'll keep the damage reduction buff. A lot of DPS, not a lot of healing, and then we will be out of here shortly. And we timed it. Look at us go. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you liked it, let me know. Like and subscribe. Like I was saying before, I think in the future I'm going to edit these down a little bit because they are kind of long. And maybe make 10 to 15-minute videos of these dungeons. Should hopefully give a better viewing experience, let more people watch it. If you made it this far, let me know what you thought in the comments. Especially let me know if you like that idea. And have a great day. Bye.